Alright guys, I'm back. As you can see, the tank is super green. So this isn't part of the cycle. What I did is when I started cycling the tank, I put phytoplankton in the tank. Because the tank was so sterile, there was nothing to eat the phytoplankton. So with the 79-degree water, once the nitrates got up in the cycle, with the light mimicking the sun, it caused the phytoplankton bloom. So basically, and this is actually after a water change, so there's still a lot of green in there. What I did to try to get rid of this is I shut the pump off a little bit ago. You can see with the pump off, it's kind of settled down on the bottom. They're dying because when I saw this flare up 2 days ago, I killed the lights, and I've just been using the lights overhead. They're on right now just for the video, but basically the only lights I've been using are just the lights that I have in my ceiling in the basement. Anyway, you know, it looks like crap. You know, you can tell, you can actually see the plankton swimming in the water column. So you see there's not really green on the glass, you know, not any really on the substrate. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do a water change. I'm gonna do 5 gallons. And then at the store, I bought a piece of rubble rock that my guy gave me that was like buried in the sand, and it had a ton of stuff on it. So what I think is that'll put more little critters into the tank, which will eat the phytoplankton. So basically I'm going to put this down. You know, when I set up this tank, I set it up to do water changes pretty easily. So you guys can see actually how fast it takes me to do water change. So let me put this thing down. I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So while I was thinking about everything I had to do this water change, which is I got 7 gallons of pre-mixed. I got a 5-gallon bucket, and this is a 4-gallon of just my RO, which I replace the RO when I do a water change, no matter what. So it's just a habit that I'm gonna try to stay on. I was thinking, normally, see this setup, I got a hole down here. That hole is my sump pump drain. So basically, I can siphon the water right out of the tank, right into my sump pump drain. The water's gone. Hose attached to the pump. This pump is actually the standard pump that came with the tank. You know, I swapped it out for a Toonsy, but this is the one that came with it. So I've been using it. You know, it's good for water changes. So basically, on a normal time, I would just be able to cycle out, siphon out the water straight into the sump pump, and it's going to shoot it out the back of my house. In this case, to do that, I would need to know how much water I would need to take out for that 5 gallons. So on this first time, I am going to siphon the water into a 5-gallon bucket. When I get it into the 5-gallon bucket, I am going to dump out that 5 gallons. I'm going to siphon another gallon into there, and then I'm going to mark the side of the tank. The sides of these WaterBox almost have like this piece of plastic covering the side, and I have this yellow pencil from one of my kids, and I'm just going to put a little mark on what the water level is when there's 6 gallons out, and then the next time I do a water change, siphon straight out of the box right into the sump until it gets to that check mark that I'm gonna make, and then I just have to refill. So let me go ahead and get this started. First, like I said, I had the pump off for a while to try to get some of these phytoplankton to settle. So what I'm going to do is try to siphon a lot of that water from down low. So here we go. So far that's just 2 gallons. So, alright guys, so I edited that out. No one wants to watch someone siphon out 5 gallons of water and then siphon those 5 gallons into my sump pump, but it worked good. Took me about not even 5 minutes. I actually did 6 gallons, so I did a full bucket, another gallon. Now I'm going to go into putting the water back in. Like I said, same hose that I use to siphon out has the fitting on the end that goes into the pump. And then I have my pre-mixed water that I get. By the way, if your place sells these buckets, I know it's a weird thing, Aqua Vitro, they're awesome buckets. I think they're like $7 for the 7-galloner. They're watertight. They have a gasket, and they have like almost like a medicine bottle type lid. But anyway, real good stuff. So basically, real simple. Not doing anything crazy. Pump in the bucket, turn it on, and fill it back up. Alright, we're back. This is after 6-gallon water change. To be honest, this is 24 hours after I did the water change. I did the water change last night, this same time, and I never made another video, so I'm making it today. The water is a lot clearer than it was yesterday, but it is not totally clear yet. There is still phytoplankton in the water column that you can see swimming around. So what I did today is I went to my local reef place. I talked to the guy and I told him what I think happened. And real quickly, I'll tell you what I think happened. Bought the phytoplankton as part of the cycle. Usually when you buy phytoplankton, especially for cycling, they give you a mix of phytoplankton and rotifers. Rotifers are just like the next level up the food chain from phytoplankton. So, and those rotifers will feed on the phytoplankton. When the phytoplankton eats all the rotifers, then they die and the cycle continues. So anyway, what I think happened is I put in the phytoplankton and rotifers. The second day or third day I had the auto top off malfunction. The salinity got messed up. I think when the salinity got messed up, it killed the rotifers. There was nothing to feed on the phytoplankton, and then that's why I got that phytoplankton bloom. So basically, what I did today is I went there, I told my guy that, and I bought just rotifers. So our thinking was that we put the rotifers in. The The rotifers are going to feed on the phytoplankton that's in there, since we didn't add any more. Once they eat all that phytoplankton, they'll all die off. So hopefully 2 days, we thought maybe it would be like that. Anyway, that's just part of the game, I guess, or part of going through setting up an SPS tank. I mean, that's why you don't rush through things. I'm probably not going to put a coral in this until today's, I think, March 9th. I'm not going to put a coral in this until I get back from spring break, which is the first week of April. By then, I'll be fully comfortable that this tank is cycled, and because I waited, did the water changes, took the time, everything should thrive once I put it in there. At least that's my hope. Anyway, do me a favor, follow below, subscribe. You can ask questions, comments. I'm also in the description, I'm putting a link to a daily blog that I have on one of the reef forums called Reef to Reef that has daily updates, pictures, comments, questions, stuff like that. So go ahead and check that out too. I got a Nero 5 today, so you'll see a Nero 5 unboxing, and you're also going to see a Nero 5 setup video. And then we should be running. No more equipment needed, nothing. Just let nature do its job, and then start loading this thing up with different corals and really making something interesting. Thanks for watching. See you next time.